Hello there, Libra, and welcome to your timeless oracle messages. I hope you're doing good out there. Now, Libra, let's find out what Spirit wants you to be aware of when it comes to your situation. And this is for Libra and Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. All right, here we got the snake. You're shedding an old skin, Libra. So you may need to take a subtle approach at this time. You may need to do things to ground yourself, take what resonates for you. But if you've been feeling shifts and changes, well, it's because you've shed an old skin. And you also need to know that there's something very healing about this, and also your own energy being very healing. So be kind to yourself, be generous with yourself. And right now, Libra, you are seeing things, or you will see things from a different point of view. Now, let this be an advantage for you and not a disadvantage. So don't fight whatever change or changes that have gone on, and feel comfortable in your own new skin. Now, let's continue and see what else Spirit wants you to know. I do get earth energy coming through with that. You too need to slow down. Wow. And I'm saying you too because, that's funny. Aries had this energy about them, but they did not get the snake energy of shedding the old skin. However, they did get the slow down. So there may be a connection between you and an Aries, or there will be in the future. However, let's talk about you and what's going on. Life isn't a race, nor is it a competition. You need to slow down, Libra. Doing so doesn't make you weak or less than. It makes you strong, wise, and much better able to navigate life with clarity and ease. Now, if you notice the snake, now I was talking to you about taking a subtle approach, maybe a gentle approach, right? And so the snake is slithering here to navigate life with clarity and ease. So slow down, gain some type of clarity or perspective that you naturally will just by slowing down and not missing something here. It's like something is closer than you realize, or there's like something that is at, ground level, just like the snake having to slither on that ground and retrieving information from that level. However, as you know, snakes can go up trees. They can do what they need to do. But slow down, take it easy, take a breather. Let's see here. Speak up. What are you not saying that's eating you up inside? You can't keep this in forever. It's time to let it out so you can move on and be happy. Okay, there may be a need to expose things or to be direct. You may need to assert yourself. Now, this might be happening now or in the near future, where Spirit doesn't want you to back down from opposition, or perhaps letting your intentions be known, or letting something be known here. It's not about making others wrong so that you can be right, but it is about not allowing yourself, and hopefully you haven't, but I feel that we all do this at times, where we end up being like, I don't like saying a doormat for others, but we may have got to a point where, we've been hiding things or keeping things in, maybe with good intentions, because possibly it's like you don't want to hurt another's feelings. But what's going on is, you're feeling frustrated and repressed from saying, how it is. So a lot of you, this transformation that's taking place, it's allowing you to speak from a very powerful place, because you're seeing things for how they are. Now, I get this other message too. Now, if you feel like there's some snakes in your life, okay, now I'm not trying to give snakes a bad name, but as people say, people can be snakes, right? You may need to point things out. Don't allow, a snake to slither in your life in a sneaky way. So just take that if it resonates. But really, this is about you being happy and being in control and taking charge. So I do sense air sign coming through with that speak up card. So when the opportunity presents itself and you find the urge to say something, say it. You're going to feel happy that you did. And by the way, you already know something here. Spirit is saying, you know, take some time to be devoted and committed to those things that are important to you. Personal growth, maybe a spiritual path. Slow down. You know, I was talking about the snake, you know, seeing things from ground level. Now, if you notice, the sage is allowing life to teach him or herself, which I see as you, and we're on ground level. Taking a moment to reflect, taking a time to journal, maybe to write out a plan, or we are writing messages from a higher source because you have the ability to do so, but you have to remain devoted and committed. And I see that you've already been on this path where you've been devoted and you've been committed, and this is why you are shedding the old skin. You know, you don't mean to, but you do stand out, or you will. And Spirit wants you to be proud of yourself for being different and unique and not like the others. Some of you, I'm just seeing the word sage, okay? Maybe time to sage, okay? Clear the energy. Whether it's sage, what other? Cedar, what is that other one? Oh, no. I can't think of it. I think it starts with a P. But anyhow, let's continue and see. Oh, palo. Oh no, I think I messed up. Anyhow, it'll come to me. What else for Libra? Open up. Okay, Libra. Open up to explore what's possible here. Spirit, first and foremost, Spirit wants you to feel safe and comfortable right where you're at. You're being asked to open your heart to another, to let down your walls and to trust that they want what's best for you. Your life will open up in wonderful ways once you decide to open up. Now, this sage could represent a new person or a person in your life right now. Someone who may be devoted and committed on their own path, and perhaps they're devoted and committed to, you know, helping another or helping you, and vice versa. But there is something about you trusting another at this time. Remember, you're shedding an old skin, an old thing, an old way. Perhaps we had to be in a place where we couldn't trust, right? We lost trust. Well, build it up again. Because you will know that you're going to have to continue to trust anyways. You're going to have to open your heart, not in a way where you allow others to attack it, but you allow yourself to give and receive, you know, one of the most beautiful energies, which is love, support, because you deserve it. But it will require you to open up, and perhaps open up to new information that comes your way. Take a step back. Okay, you're being asked to step back from your life in order to gain perspective. And see, that's what I see you doing. When you're too close to a situation, it can be hard to make a decision. All right, so span out and view your life from a distance so you can get the perspective needed. And it's not going to happen like instantly. Now, maybe for some of you it can. So be patient with yourself. Remember, you get to slow down. You don't have to feel like it's a race or a competition to find these answers. They'll come to you once you distance yourself from that which has been too much for you anyways. Okay, let's see what else. Well, we got the Knight of Swords. This is the opposite of slowing down. We may need to watch too how we are speaking, okay? Because some of you, this whole thing about speak up, yeah, but we may need to use it. We may need to speak wisely, right? But there is something here where, we're demanding things too, and we are speaking up. So I see this Knight of Swords as almost as a hero here in a way, right? Because it does take heroic actions to stand up for what we believe is true and right. But make sure you're slowing down here. Let's get more about this. This is bringing change too. Let's get more about this Knight of Swords. What's important for Libra to know about the Knight of Swords? Air sign is showing up, Libra. Let's get more of the Knight of Swords. It's kind of weird. I got something about nighttime actually too for a lot of you Libras. So something at nighttime is going on. Peace and harmony. Perhaps that nighttime, it could even be the Nine of Swords in a way where we're stressed out, we're overthinking, especially after, the day is gone and we're sitting in our own, we're sitting with our own self, which, it's good to sit with yourself and love yourself. Love your own company. Peace and harmony. Okay. Thank you, Ragul, for surrounding my life with harmonious light. Okay, I see this as slow down and speak up when necessary. You may need to use a logical response over a emotional response. And I know that could take a lot of strength because we have to be aware of it first and foremost. But there may be someone here too, Libra, okay? And I would say, depending on your situation, it could be difficult to handle somebody, because this person is coming off as right. They are unstoppable when it comes to proving something. But choose peace and harmony, which may mean that you need to cultivate it yourself. It may mean that you need to, move out of something here, right? Speak up and move away or move into the direction that gives you that peace and harmony. But I see you're directing something here too. All right, let's continue and see what else Spirit wants you to know. Connect with music. Thank you for inspiring me through music. We're talking about slowing down and breathing here. I'm pretty sure I said that. It's kind of funny that I was saying that because we have the card that says take time to breathe. Thank you, angels. I breathe with ease, knowing you're here. Music can be very healing. Sometimes we can allow, the day-to-day life and tasks take us away from maybe just connecting with music in some way, shape, or form. Thank you, angels. I breathe with ease, knowing you're here. And I love this card because you can see in the shadow is an angel. We're making changes right now, Libra, and that's what's happening. Is Spirit is saying, if you don't want to do something, don't do it. You have the right to remove obstacles out of your way so that you can take time to breathe. You can take time to connect with music. What inspires you? Do that. Some of you, because you've been in this fast-paced mode, though, it could really be challenging at first to slow down, especially because, this Knight of Swords, very focused on some type of outcome, and we're headed right towards it. But sometimes the Knight of Swords can end up sabotaging something because we didn't slow down, we didn't take note of something, or we missed something. Now, some of you, oh gosh, oh boy. You may need to slow down for those fast drivers out there. Excuse me, out there. Okay, just saying, slow down. You know, this could be a police officer, law enforcement too. So I'm just putting that out there. Take it if it resonates. Don't worry if it doesn't. But I will bring that up because I see that too. Okay, now let's continue and see what else Spirit wants you to know. Connect with your emotions. The water guardian is saying, you know, accept all of your emotions as valid. Good, bad, it doesn't matter. You're meant to connect with your emotions, right? Your emotions help you get the insight that is needed here, but we have to be willing to open our own selves up. And it's funny because we were talking about choosing logic over your emotions here. That's because you've dealt with what you needed to deal with. You've accepted something here. Now, also with that water, you know, I'm getting something about shape-shifting here. Yeah, look at that. That snake, you're shape-shifting here. Moving through the ebbs and flows of like the ocean, like the water. Now let's get a little bit more with connect with your emotions, because I see this thing where, you know, you're being asked to open your heart to another. And if you notice this angel here, heart. So music and songs may be speaking to you. Okay, let's get more about the water guardian for Libra. When I was talking about the shape-shifting too, Libra, it's kind of, you know, like water. It can turn into ice. It could, you know, turn into steam. It has the ability to change forms. Oh, that's exactly what's going on. You're changing forms. You're unleashing and activating the wild within. You know, do what feels right. You know, your emotions, what feels right and good to you. Let it out. Something instinctual here. You know, this is the alpha she wolf or he wolf. Yeah, there is something strong about you, you know, feeling maybe, perhaps, I mean, I don't like to say, like, some of you might feel like you're scared to show something or reveal something because perhaps you're afraid that, you know, people will misunderstand your talents, your gifts. Perhaps there's something too for some of you where, you know, you've just been misunderstood, and it could even stem from a past life. But what you need to know is you're honoring something when it comes to natural gifts, natural abilities, natural leadership. It's like take a step back so that you can take a step up. What part of you right now is wanting to come out? I mean, is it maybe even, you know, in the privacy of your own home, obviously, or wherever you're at, maybe dancing naked under the moon, okay? Something wild like that. Let it out. Howl. Some of you, you know, you may need to vent out or speak to your angels here because your angels are not judging you. They know the complications of life, the choices that life offers. But allow yourself to connect with your emotions so that you know what part of you, what part of the, see, that moon is illuminating something here within yourself. So you are being encouraged to, you know, break free from others, to own something that you already know is very powerful and strong and natural and raw. And if it's about love, you know, at the right time, you know, healing will occur in love, or the right connection will happen for you in love. But be in love with yourself and life here in a healthy way. What else for Libra? Healing medicine, or excuse me, healing medicine, okay. Medicine guardian, be open to healing information. Unleash that wild within, connecting with your emotions. Let's get more about the medicine guardian. You know, sometimes it's not favorable all the time, right, to connect with our emotions, especially if we're feeling bombarded by, the world or people. If you don't have that time or the space, well, I encourage you, if you don't, you've got to make that time. You've got to make that space. If it's heading out of, heading somewhere else for the time being, then do that. Now, this Knight of Swords could also be a bringer of news here, a bringer of healing information, or you will find yourself in the position to communicate in a way that's effective and healing, or be a messenger of healing information. Oops, it's getting more about this. And I see Archangel Raphael here. A lot has gone on when it comes to healing your heart and your mind. Yeah, track down your fears and desires. You may need to, or perhaps you're taking a different approach when it comes to tracking down exactly what is it that you may be fearing. Because once you see it, once you accept it, that moment that you recognize it, it really loses its power. And then it becomes your strength. Because now you're realizing anything, or a thought or a feeling that is pulling you away from something that is actually desirable here. So there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of fire energy going on. And that's exactly what I see. It's like this ball of fire that you've kept pure here from your transformation, but it's like we don't know what to do with it. And so we could be feeling very frustrated. So, allow yourself freedom to feel and think the way that you want, even if it's only for, a few hours. Hopefully you can give yourself like a 24-hour period here, Now, it does take strength to hunt down our fears and desires. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if you've already done that in the past and you've already healed some, issues with yourself or another or others. But we're always going to have to take inventory. We have to make sure that we check in with ourselves, because as we grow and evolve, fears can just come out of nowhere. And so we need to be aware of that and track it down before it becomes something more than it needs to be, right? Before it takes root. Anyhow, let's continue and see what else Spirit wants you to know. New beginning. See, that old, shedding that old. And it is important to give yourself enough time for rejuvenation. So many times people can rush their own restoration process. Thank you, angels, for opening up the doors to change. I am ready. Expect new opportunities. In fact, release your expectations of what you think an opportunity should look like, because it's almost like you're going to fall into it. And you are ready. See, you're ready to take the lead. You're ready to do something outstanding, or to show a part of yourself that maybe, if it serves others to see it, will improve you and improve them, right? Improve your self-esteem, because you're feeling accepted and appreciated. Okay, what else? Surround yourself with protective energy. This is always important to do, especially when you are in this process of transition. Slow down and do things that make you feel that you are protecting your own energy and not feeling like we're getting mixed up with another here. Because I sense a lot of you are empaths and healers, or there's something very mystical about you. Some of you don't know yet your talents, your gifts, because it's just starting to get on fire, or start that fire. But you are going to keep that fire going. by not losing yourself in something or someone, right? Being devoted and committed, even if that means, you know, we have to take time for ourselves, to be by ourselves. Now, look at the armor here with the Knight of Swords. You know, some of you, whatever you believe in, but put on your spiritual protection. Don't be afraid of others, but also know that you are being guided too by powerful angels and guides that are protecting you and your energy. Now, I'm noticing something too. Look at this arrow. The arrow is pointing up, and so is the sword. See, heaven is protecting you. Look up to the heavens. Know that your prayers are being answered and accepted, right? Because you're accepting yourself, you're accepting the situation here. What else? Now, I would say with that she-wolf or he-wolf, because there isn't a he-wolf in there, it's going to be important for you to, you know, stay true to yourself here. Because that may be hard, not for all of you, but some of you, it could be hard, you know, because you've got something different going on. It's like your path isn't like a cookie cutter path. And you may even resonate with the last SOS reading if you haven't heard that. The link to that video is in the description. Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know. Express your creativity. See, I was talking about that fire, keeping that fire going. Miracle of prayer. You know, I was getting this thing too. Your prayers, they're pointing up to the heavens here. That sword and that arrow. Your prayers have been heard and answered. Now, believe that your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith that it's already on its way without feeling like you have to pray harder or more. In fact, ease up on that. Act as if it's already been answered. Some of you, whether it's creativity or love, you know, something we're feeling blocked here. And that's why it's important to connect with your emotions, to connect that with the wild within here. You're doing, you know, you're definitely doing something different. Now, Archangel Sandalphon is saying that your prayers are being delivered to heaven. Now, all you got to do is use your imagination here for the best, for the good here. Thank you, angels, for helping to express my inner creator. Let's get a little bit more about what's coming out of this for Libra. Ground yourself. You've been, okay, so you're being asked, see, ask for help. You're getting the help you need. You're being asked to ground yourself. So get creative here when it comes, this is so cute. Because look at that. The sage is like sitting, you know, really grounding oneself here. And that's exactly what Spirit is saying. Use your creativity now. You know, Spirit already knows you've been praying hard and maybe too hard, right? You're being asked to ground yourself. You've been spending too much time in your head, and it's time to pay attention to your body and to the earth. Go outside and plant your feet on the ground and enjoy the centering feeling that it brings, so that you can also open up your creativity here, which is really important, where you don't feel stagnant in life. You get your zest back, or, you know, maybe for some of you, you could keep that zest going depending on where you're at. So what's coming out of this is feeling a lot more grounded, rooted, strong, getting the help that you need, right? The prayer of help, ask for that help. You're being asked to request help from another. Okay, you're being asked to request help from another. Ooh, see, be open. Open to another. You don't need to deal with an issue alone. There are many people who want to help you, but it's up to you to bravely ask for their support. Now, the Knight of Swords is brave, bravely asking for support. Okay, it's a sign of strength to reach out. Do that today. Maybe it could be something, small, and maybe you want to start out with something small. This is encouraging you to get into that place of reciprocity because you've been doing something on your own for too long now. Now it's a transition into allowing others to help you because heaven is sending you the right situations and the right people. Don't get caught up in too much of what you need to say. Just act in the moment. Speak in the moment from your true and authentic self, and you won't have to worry about what is going to come out of your mouth or how you're going to respond because you already know. You're grounded, you're rooted, you're going to respond accordingly. What else? Open your heart. This is no joke. You've been hurt. Okay, look at this. Look at this. The balance. That looks like justice card to me, which, the scales represents you, Libra. Thank you, angels, for bringing my life into balance. So you've been praying for more balance and harmony in your life to feel more of a flow. Open your heart. Thank you, Shamuel, for removing the barriers around my heart. By standing in your own integrity and knowing what you're worth. Keep things in balance here, right? Peace, harmony. Slow down, especially when you know if you're moving too fast. Okay, now there may be a partnership here or some type of new agreement that's going to give you the adjustment that you need in life. But your job is to open your heart, and that can be, a little bit hard here. Be open to healing information. Let's get more about, opening your heart and that balance. Okay. Okay, I'm getting a message. There's something about record keeping or record keeper. Now that may mean something totally different than what I'm going to say, but take it if it resonates. It won't for all of you, but there may be something where you need to let go of the record keeping here. In the context of you did this to me and I'm going to keep record of that. You know what I mean? Like there may be something with that. So it's like letting it all go, let the records go. Oh, choose what you want to choose too. Okay, so some of you might be a little confused about which path which path to go. Spirit is saying it's up to you. Your angels, heaven, your higher self is not judging you. Do the path that makes you feel right in your heart. Not the I have to go on this path, right? Yes, sometimes that works, but not in this case right now. You got to go on the path that feels right, that makes you feel that you can open your heart more and more. Because that's really the secret of creating a good life, is keeping your heart open. Now, that takes a lot of strength and courage too, because we live in a world where we see a lot of pain, suffering, betrayal. We do see that. And so it does take a wise one. It takes one to be very strong and powerful to keep that heart open and balanced. It's time for you to receive the adjustment that you need to make life far more easier for you without you overthinking which path to take. Just keep going towards the one that opens your heart. And remember, you don't have to rush into it. That's the thing. Weighing your choices carefully, the pros, the cons, but ultimately choose what's best for your heart and your mind. Okay, let's see. Honor your feelings. There's so much going on. Okay, Libra. You may have already gone through a period of, some emotional upheaval, or you may, get into that because there may be so much going on that's being activated within you. Powerful gifts, powerful insights. And also, I wouldn't even be surprised if this already happened to you, or it will, where I see that your eyes just get so welled up because you actually feel the love from the universe. You actually feel it penetrating you because you dropped your shields. You opened yourself up to something here. And so now we feel this overwhelming, plentiful though, of love. Now it's important too, and I say this a lot, where you don't want to judge your emotions. Just allow it to speak to you and accept it, and then wave it goodbye. Because that's really all it wants to do, is just to surface and let it be. And besides that, you're highly sensitive, and that's a gift from the heavens here. Your feelings are valid, that's the thing. Your feelings are valid, they're worth accepting, and they're worth honoring. Yeah, you're being encouraged to just embrace it. I want more too about that. Honor your feelings. We got water sign coming through. Trust your instincts. We got animal guardian, and we've got that she-wolf here. So, and I was getting this thing about shapeshifter. A lot of you have a very significant connection to the animal kingdom, right? And so trust your instincts. Take on the characteristics of perhaps an animal that speaks to you the most right now. Maybe it's a couple or a few. Maybe it's just one. Trust your instincts when it comes to honoring your feelings and how you feel too about a situation or a person. Okay, what else? And I was really noticing the deer too. It's like the deer is very sensitive. And also it has, the deers, they, for the most part, they're vigilant, right? But it's like, you can relax now. You can take a soft and gentle approach to a situation here. And animals love you. Some of you may have a real gift here when it comes to animal. Oh my gosh. Okay. Really, seriously, can't even make this up. Yeah, you do have very strong connection to animals. Animals do speak to you. I mean, even look at the direction guardian. Okay, we got the bull, we got the lion, we got the eagle. Look at that. Owl, deer, panther, raven, eagle. Thank you, Animal Kingdom, for blessing my path with love. It's important that you are connecting with the animal kingdom, whether it's spiritually or in the physical. What are they blessing you with? What are they teaching you? What are they offering you? What are you offering to them? Because a lot of you may have, a strong thing where you are the animal guardian, a steward of the land and the animals here. So I can see some animal activism here, or for some of you, it could just be about standing, strong for the rights of others too. Okay, what else? Wise one, you're growing within your current situation. Look at the raven and the owl coming out again. Don't be fooled here, Libra. You have this ability, and you also have, ancient ones that have gifted you inner sight, inner wisdom. And it means that you're taking these old ancient wisdom and having to figure it out in modern day time here. So that means we have to slow down, because we live in a world, especially if you live in the Western world, everything is so damn fast paced, like literally. right? Information, we get it like, instantly. We get delivery almost instantly now. I mean, everything is so instant. But growing isn't instant. That's the thing. You can't force something to grow quickly. Okay, it's not like you can buy it on Amazon and have it like immediate, growth. You know what I mean. So you're taking your time, you're growing within your situation. And why do I feel like a lot of you might be questioning like where you're at right now? And some of you, it's like grow where you're at, blossom wherever you land. Okay, let's see here. What else? The Divine Father is co-creating with you. I told you that. Open your heart. You're getting love, support, solutions, ideas, the strength and the confidence to take action where you need to take action, to weave the dreams or the goals into reality. Because, dear Father, thank you for co-creating my world with me. Grounded, rooted. There may be something with drumming here for healing, for activation, to do some type of maybe meditation or dream journey. There's a lot you've been gifted with in this lifetime, Libra, and this is why, it feels like once you try to conform or stay traditional, so to speak, in maybe what you've grown into or grown up into or what society thinks is normal, something always happens where it doesn't work out for you. That's because you got a different path. You got a divine path here. Let's not forget that. What else? Some of you are healing father issues too. Oracle, wait for, oh my God. See, wait for important information. Look at the snake. Look at the snake. Now we've got this on the armband here. This is for power, strength, vitality, healing. You're getting the information that you need, and it's coming from within, or it's coming from a place that is not, well, what we say, normal. Pay attention to that inner vision. Be wise too. Record it somehow, maybe, technology or good old fashioned pen and paper. That information that you need is coming to you. But I will tell you, for those that don't know, when you're shutting your heart off or you're feeling too much anger or frustration, which we all do because we're all human and it's okay. But if we give into too much of that, we shut ourselves off to like the valve of spiritual information. So that's why it's important that our heart is clear of debris, of harboring hurt or resentment, which I know it takes some time. It does take some time to heal. But that's the thing, is that it can heal. Okay, what else for Libra? Oh, take care of your needs. Okay. You're learning to slow down a little bit more, trusting in the spiritual realm a little bit more. You've been living in a fast-paced world, trying to keep up with something here, and it hasn't been working in your favor because Spirit is saying you need to take care of your needs so that your needs can be met in a way that is effortless. And you're also putting yourself in a place of abundance when you take care of your needs. So take a season or give yourself whatever time you need to take care of your needs, right? Speaking up. What do you want, what you don't want? Because you're taking care of your needs. Now, when you come with this intention, things will become very clear. You'll know exactly what to do. But you have been taking care of the needs of a lot of other things or people. And now it's time to gain our energy back. Because some of you, it's like you've been trying so hard at healing a situation or trying to whatever it is. And it's like now we just got to step back. We got to let time. Oh gosh, okay, yeah. We got time will tell you. Some of you, can I say something too for those Libras out there that may already be in a position of giving counsel to others? Let me tell you something, Libra. I feel like I have to say this. You're right, okay? But this is the thing. Some people don't want to hear what you have to say right now. They may be soaking it up, but you're going to have to allow time to reveal the truth that you were right all along without getting your fingers in it anymore. Okay? So trust in your own abilities here. Trust the counsel that you receive and that you give. And again, you may need to just step aside and just allow time to reveal that you were right all along. Let's continue and see what else Spirit wants you to know. Take notes of intuitive messages. And that's going to come from a place where we're not challenged or triggered. It's when we've cultivated some peace, harmony, we've grounded ourselves. We're taking the time to listen to our intuitive nudges and senses. You may be wanting to work with the moon and the moon cycles and energies. Do that, because I am seeing a little bit more of the feminine coming in now, okay? And we do have the divine father here, but we need to have that counterbalance here of the divine feminine, the divine masculine, so that it can create something here. And I'm just talking about an energy, okay? The energies of that. What else? Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Told you. My gosh, eagle spirit. Detach. Okay, it's like, really, you may be too enmeshed in trying to see the outcome or to get some, whatever it is, whatever we feel we're bogged down by or too enmeshed with, see it from a higher perspective. Take a step back. Look at that. That's what that eagle is doing, taking that step back. Some of you, it's like you maybe, because some of you, I felt like you might have rushed into something, and it's okay. You can make another choice. You really can. What else? Get more air sign with that eagle spirit coming through. Embrace the energy of peace. You're just cultivating peace right now. Taking that time to breathe. Maybe making plans for a vacation, even if you don't know how or when. Just writing it down and getting it, on something can manifest your dream vacation here. Now you're going to have to put yourself in a position where you can be at peace, that you can surrender to quietude. Embrace that energy of peace so that you don't feel like you have to fight for something too much here. Let's get more about that. Embrace the energy of peace. And also to ask for help when you need it. Yeah, I feel a lot of you guys with that wise one, you're really understanding more and more of your limits here and accepting that, which is giving you more balance. Okay, so look at this. You've broken some type of ancestral patterns. And the elders, your ancestors, are coming in and saying, thank you. And they may have had to be in survival mode where they didn't trust enough. But you're in a whole different era. You're in a whole different timeline. And this is why they want you to continue to embrace the energy of peace and love. They don't want you to feel like you have to fight to survive either. That's something that, yes, they've had to pass down onto you, that you've had to carry, but you've broken it. Remain peaceful, yet vigilant of your own dreams, desires, and knowing you're worthy of it too. What else? Be that light, because you've broken that, moved beyond that ancestral pattern. Even in the face of having to deal with not only, maybe you're finding out your own fears and desires at the same time. Because once you know your fears, now you can track down your desires. Now we can see what it is that we want. But if you're dealing with problems or the problems of others or the world, all you got to do right now is not respond. The way that you respond is just holding that light, knowing your own truth, knowing that you don't have to force anything. Allow your light to heal a situation. And also, a lot of you, it's like that you holding that space of light. I mean, because look at this. It's like something that you've done here with mastering shadow work. And now you're holding that light so others can find you or come to you. What else? Okay, nope, that is it. So let's find out, Libra, how Spirit is currently helping you that you need to be aware of. Yeah, Spirit is gifting you something with your spiritual gifts. I was noticing this, and there may be something involved with not only writing, but there could be scrying here, maybe crystals, smoke, sensing things, visioning things, because you have spiritual talents and gifts. Spirit is helping you with discovering and helping you channel your gifts and talents for yourself and for those that are involved. But that means we have to be patient as well. This takes time to grow. Because again, it's not something you can purchase, on Amazon or wherever or at the grocery store, right? This is something that takes time. This is something that the elders, that the ancestors have passed down to you as well. Because they know you know how to use it. Okay, now before we end the reading, let's find out what you have to look forward to in the near future. Or let me say this again. What do you have to look forward to? Yeah, it could be in the near future. Or just the future here. Let's just see what Spirit will give us. What do you have to look forward to? Seeing your seeds grow. Isn't that nice? Taking that time so that you can slow down. All these things that you've been at, going at fast pace here. You've been spreading your seeds. And now what you sow, you reap. What goes around comes around. What you have to look forward to is seeing those seeds grow in the way that makes you feel that you're thriving. That's wonderful. Now, I hope this was helpful for you. Love and light. Take care.